All right, we are back working on the Revenant for the Sudden Death Tournament. Actually trying the mic filter today, so maybe my keyboard won't be so loud. Probably a positive for some people. Um, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We left off having finished Dungeon Orc Elf Depths. Everything's done. Let's actually just finish this because there's, every little bit counts right now. I don't have a great. Oh, that should work. Okay, that's not as good. I wonder if we can. No, we can't really do much to it with the Rime Blade, I guess. Let's queue Permafrost so we can see where it's going to land. It doesn't seem like it's going to take it out. Let's get that out of the way. Also, sorry if I'm just generally pretty quiet today. Not. I guess we'll just keep doing this. Yeah, this is probably just not worth the time, honestly. Oh god. I can't deal with distortion. If I get banished, I did some reading on the Abyss, and if you get forcibly banished, I think it sends you deeper than if you go in on your own. And we really just want to start at Abyss 1 if we can. I'm really not interested in... yeah. Really not interested in getting the best. So, yeah. Graveclaw works. Bit. What now, though? Let's try this. 38%. That's not enough. I can't guarantee anything this turn, and I really don't want to be Abyssed. Let's hope for the best, I guess. All right, the best happened. Cool. Now that I've seen that, though, I'm really not interested in playing with this statue. Like that's not a risk I'm willing to take anymore. So let's just grab the gold and get out of here. Just live to fight another day. In the meantime, there are a couple things I want to grab to get set up for Abyss. first off, I'm just going to drop almost all my potions. I'm going to keep the 8 stacks just because we haven't ID'd heal wounds, and it's the most common thing I haven't ID'd, so it's probably one of these. And that frees up space for some other stuff. I'll just that. So it was the ice ring that I cared about the most. There are a couple other staffs I kind of care about or might care about, being cold and death. Let's just grab those. Because that's all we're really using right now. Like, the downside with Majin Bow, again, just reading the wiki, because the wiki's finally back up. The vamp doesn't work on anything with RN, so it's got some limitations. There's probably situations where wearing a staff for more spell power is better, but just like 79-43. Just for my own sake. Yeah, 88 and 47. So it's pretty big on vamp drain at least. Mana's significant. And the failure is significant. It's probably unlikely that we take Majin Bow off, but we might as well go in as prepared as possible. You know, better safe than sorry attitude. I'm not sure what else I need to do to get ready, if anything. I think I was thinking about the cloak and robe of folly. All we have left after Abyss is Lair, Vestibule, and Ziggurat, potentially, before the Hells. And I don't think I can really count on getting enough gold for both. So I'm not going to get the cloak. We're just going to go... We're just going to go for Abyss, because I've just been overthinking it, honestly. Spend way too much time thinking about how to tackle this. I just need to start doing it. So hopefully we don't get plunked into Abyss 4. And we start at 1. Great. Best case scenario right here. So a lot less worried. This is probably going to be pretty boring now, though, because I think the safest thing to do, just overall, if I'm going to go for bonus 2 and get the Hell Rune, is just a farm experience in Abyss. Like, I know it's cheesy. I know it's, you know, Abyss scumming, bad rap and all that. But I'm going to do whatever I think is going to help the most. Really. So that includes Abyss scumming. That's not bad. So let's try and be tactical about this, just because you never know. Abyss can get really out of hand really fast. And the boomerangs are probably pointless. Let's just keep permafrost quivered. I think we wanted to go for armor because it's really effective right now. And just let permafrost do work. I'm gonna try and be as resource conservative as possible, just so we don't get into any serious trouble. All right, got the crab. Cool. That's not gonna work. That'll do. Pretty sure Laughing Skulls don't have RC. is your will? It's not that good. Maybe. Yeah, that's pretty good. Fragile is not, though. I don't want to be in this cloud anymore. I don't think I have a choice, though. Okay, there we go. Cool. Trying to get Fragile off. I don't... What's going on with Ruin this crap? Why am I... Oh, it's confused and trying to hit me, or hitting me accidentally. And Rue is retaliating. That makes sense. Yeah, this is already not great. And just trying to be as safe and boring as possible. And just give ourselves the best odds of success in hell. Yeah, the brain worm I can't ignore. That's a poor idea. And yoinked. Okay, that's fine. Just need to be aware that every time that happens, there's the possibility of going deeper, but we do need to get the rune eventually. And not being... I thought it was going to be, you know, more resource efficient than this, but I'm really not playing it very well. So maybe I don't really want to slow down much, but don't know how else to make myself play better. The lag is real though, so that's fun. Yeah, this looks like a disconnect. This is really bad. Yeah, okay. So it looks like that even, oh shit. That even disconnected the stream for a second. And this is not good. Bone dragons are serious business. And the brain worm is also really bad for me. So let's think for a second. Maybe I can charm it just to not deal with it. Okay, that's good. Back off. Do that. That. Yeah, I'm fine doing this. Well, okay, so if you don't point it at an ally, it's not going to chain through it. That's fine, though. Then we can do that. They don't have that much RC, which is good for us. Miscast, great. Yeah, probably not a good time to enkindle, but what can you do? We're here. Are you? Yeah, of course you're RN immune. Yeah, let's do that. I'm pretty scared of the dragon, honestly. So, just abundance of caution. Get off me. Yeah, this is pretty bad for Abyss 1, honestly. I really am not enjoying it. But if we don't play like shit, we should be fine. But easier said than done. Especially with all this fail chance. I'll stop with the armor because the fail is way worse right now. And I should probably wear an int ring and not be lazy about ring swapping. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We've dealt with miscasts enough, and great, a way out. Okay. So we're just going to be doing that for as long as possible. Just some nice, boring, safe Abyss farming. Let's get back to it. Really not a fan of Apocalypse Crabs. Yeah, no Grave Claw. It's just melee, basically. This really sucks. I feel like a lot more things in here are RN immune than I thought they would be. Not great for Mudgeon Bow or Vamp Drain, honestly. Probably using Rime Blight and Permafrost too much. Not nearly as efficient as Ramparts, and yeah, so we'll keep being Ramparts, man, unless that happens. Let's do that. Oh wow, this is out of hand already. That, and a Lich. Okay, we're going straight to that. They are not fucking around in the Abyss today. Yeah, let's just rod you. Be good to pay attention to our evocables just to get as much value as we can. And that's going to be important down here. Executioner too. This is really ridiculous for Abyss 1, honestly. Yeah, let's... Oh, and holy stuff. That's perfect timing for the gateway. Thanks, game. I really don't want to deal with angels. That's worst case scenario. And just something we have to deal with for the rune. We have to deal with the possibility of a holy vault. Permafrost is getting there though. I think 10 will be good. I don't know, 18 necro. Yeah, just set those and think about it for a bit. Yeah, a Deva and Abyss one. It's really, really obscene, honestly. I don't have teleport scrolls to get away. There also are an immune, no RC though, so I wonder what the best way to deal with them is. Probably not that. Yeah, we can't afford to be resource efficient here. There we go. Okay, I definitely don't want to deal with angels down here. And okay, force deeper already. Really hoping for more time on Abyss 1. But, nothing you can do. Just gotta keep grinding it out. Oh, now that I remember, I wanted to grab Dispel Undead. There's a bunch of, ridiculous undead down here. And it's really, really strong for the mana. Like 4 mana to do 3d28 is really, really strong. Bunch of things getting stunned. I think I'll go back to boomerangs because just spamming permafrost is probably not a good idea. Yeah, what? Everything down here. Immune to negative. Mm-hmm. Okay. Draconians too. I thought this would be easier, honestly. It's a bit much. But no real choice. Okay, keeps going. Probably, I mean, I want to apocalypse, but you're demonic, not undead. Yeah, let's do that. Of course, plenty of will. Oh, yeah, problem. Need our elect back. But now what? We can't really... Without Apocalypse, I don't think we can take this fight. We can Memories using Kindle. I think right up there, back more, even more. All right, we're back to Apocalypse. We do have mana for Blight. I think Memories is prudent here, though. I know a lot of this is RC. It's not going to make a big difference. But Permafrost should go a decent way. Yeah. And Lightning Rod. Okay, let's get back to that. I think the Blizzard Demon is probably, yeah, immune to Elec. Yep. Really out of hand. So, or it gets worse. Yeah, it keeps getting worse. Let's see. That's a lot. Okay, so there's a ton of stuff here. An absolute ton. Let's think for a second. Two Tambourine, Spiders. I think we probably just go northeast and break line of sight. He's got Smite. Start the evocables up. Yeah, we're really gonna need to... I think we almost need to just get lucky here and get a portal out or get yoinked somewhere else where we can rest, because this is just too much. Maybe javelins even to save mana. Can't really abandon Ascetic. Things are pinned though. We could just run. That's probably the smartest thing. Yeah, we can go northeast, break line of sight. The Executioner, though, serious problem. Not sure how that's gonna go. But let's try. Try escaping. Maybe Tarantellas will be helpful in some way. Okay, so this is probably where we have to hold, just so the Tarantellas can do some work there. We can tambourine this stuff off. At least a little bit. Yeah, we probably want to pull it. Yeah, that's the only square. So we'll pull it back. Let's see. So the Executioner just didn't move, I guess. That's surprising. Something might have been in the way. But I think we need to steppy and probably spend darts on this. Yeah, that works. I honestly, I think I have to lose the darts. I don't think the apportation is worth using here. That's how dire this is. Um, we can keep. Hmm, I mean, honestly, we probably shouldn't APOC again. We're significantly drained. Hmm. Yeah, this is not looking good for us. So, what are the options? You've got tons of will. You do plenty of damage with Mind Burst, but you can't really hurt us. If we keep this thing in the way, it'll kind of body block for everything else. Um, well, things will get to it and switch that have higher HD, so that won't actually work. Probably javelins at this point. Hmm. Yeah, this just keeps getting worse. At least we have mana for Rime Blight, but I mean, this hallway is probably the best place to fight, which is really, really sad. So this is probably our last stand. That blocking is helpful. Okay, so that just came around the corner. At least it's paralyzed. One lightning rod back. Very high will. These, though, not good will. So we may want to charm a bunch of stuff. So let's start there. Wow. Probably take this pretty seriously. I think we kind of need Rime Blight to do work, kill things, and just spawn a portal under us to get out. That's probably the only out we have. So in that in that spirit, we probably just have to help Rime Blight with javelins, right? One lightning rod in that direction, but let's javelin and Hellion. All right, this is likely the end for us. So let's give it. Yep, that's it. All right. Spatial Maelstrom. What do you do? Touch engulf. Hmm. Hmm. Wow, even with no viewers getting spam bots. Cool. Hmm. I guess I can swap with the ugly thing. Might protect me for a turn from the executioner. But our run probably ends here. Oh well. Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Fighting, whatever. Yeah, Hellion will just dunk on us. guess we keep going with trying to charm our way through this. Okay. That was what we needed to happen. Now what? Uh, Probably charm some more. That's probably it. One in Kindle back. One lightning rod. Just make sure I'm not missing anything because this is a serious near-death experience that is still not over. Almost definitely charming though. We could try using disjunction on the maelstrom. Let's see if 83%, that does kind of get it off us. It is fast. Only hits for 20 though. I think it's probably less dangerous. Yeah, slightly less dangerous than the ugly thing, I think. So how is Ramparts is okay. I think we need to memory and cast something just to get health back this turn. Yeah, this has become a tactics game again. Cannot really strategize my way out of this. Also, that seemed to be a good lesson about APOC in Abyss. That didn't seem to go well at all. Woke up like an infinite amount of things, it seemed like. Um, so we should probably stick to Power Leap and draw out power if we survive this in the future. We can step right. I think we'll still get hit by stuff. I think I would rather charm the ugly thing below me and swap with it. So let's try that. Jesus Christ. Okay, I think that turn we might have lost exhaust. And it may very well be just in time. So memories and casting this turn, I just don't think is it. This I think it's so draw out power only option. I was kind of hoping we had enough for APOC, but that is not the case. So draw out power only option. Might as well just do that. I don't know why the Maelstrom kind of wandered away. Maybe it has funky AI. That still doesn't help. But now moving to the right is a lot more appealing. So let's do that. Okay. It's still not amazing. Let's do that and cross our fingers. Did not go well. The Maelstrom disappeared though, so that's really nice. We just have to deal with this ugly thing. I think in Kindle, and we can vamp drain. That is definitely the play here. So in Kindle vamp gives something, I think. Life, ugly thing, blah blah. Still hits me anyways. What's the likelihood on disjunction? 83. Okay, so that's gonna be a lot better than charming. Let's get this thing off us. Fingers crossed. Okay, it's off. Now we can try and fight. Much more comfortable fighting a single regular ugly thing in melee with vamp drain. And it's almost dead, so we might get it. Okay, we did get it. Let's grab this, go here, there. Okay, let's keeping that off us. We should probably just to be safe, grab you. And okay, now it's not working. So that, and that was awful. That was truly awful. That was one of the worst situations I've probably been in. Dropping tons of frames, it looks like. So, just real quick, let me just see what's going on with Twitch. Because I seem to, and again, my internet seems to be garbage. But bitrate, I think, fine. Excellent, no recommended changes. Yeah, I don't know what to do about the dropped frames. I should probably watch a VOD, see what it looks like, and go from there. But again, I think I just need a new router. But now, after that, that may very well have been scary enough to make me give up on at least a bonus, right? There are two things I could do. So trying to get 10 points, the only option there is Abyss Rune. If I abandon the second bonus, I don't have to do Abyss, but I do have to do Vaults and Crypt, and still do that Ascetic. And I don't know that Vaults 5 Ascetic is going to be any easier than Abyss 3 Ascetic. So that kind of bumps us down to abandoning both bonuses, which lets us go to Lair and then an S branch, which should be, way easier than what we just experienced in Abyss, at least, and certainly easier than Vaults 5. The problem there, my thinking is that Abyss was just really uncharacteristically dangerous, and I think the problem was using Apocalypse. So if we go back to Abyss, we just really need to avoid that. I don't think using Apocalypse is viable in Abyss. Seemed to be really awful. I'm wondering, like, what is there anything that would make a difference right now? I mean, the 1 AC for the cloak, uh, after that experience, I'm a lot more willing to spend the money on that. Even 1 AC um, could be the difference between life and death for us. If Abyss is going to keep being that awful. I still, though, I do still just want to go for 10 points just to do it, basically. Doing Abyss Ascetic just seems like. I mean, it seems like it's super variable, right? Like what we just experienced, that was maybe the most dangerous Abyss has ever been for me. Um, and we could go back in and have it be a lot safer, not use Apocalypse, not get completely surrounded by things. Um, there are okay. We'll go. Let's just think about it for a second. We'll just go through. We'll go through the little exclusions that we have. This one. Yeah, this should just be a statue. I don't even know that these give experience as 12 HP. Okay, so let's see, 133 health. It didn't do anything. D10 though. Let's see what's here. Oh, we stopped. Okay, at a vault, I'm much more happy to do this now. Really glad this is here. This makes a really big difference. Oh, those scales are actually interesting. The minus telly. I don't know if that works in Abyss. I don't know if it would prevent most forms of teleportation. But the regen is really big. The R core as well. That's like one of the only. That's the only resist we're missing, I think. All right. Well, we'll consider that. I think I want to look up if I can minus telly. I don't know if Beam would know. First, a dimensional anchor status. Okay. Is that any different? Blocks you from teleporting, will checking hex, blah, blah, blah. None of that is really helpful. So I don't know how minus telly interacts with this. I'm actually going to ask someone. I'm trying to figure out how minus telly interacts with Abyss. Because it can work a couple different ways. If it makes it so the Abyss itself just can't teleport you, then I don't think we can get plunged deeper. I think those events are tied to teleports. So yeah, I asked someone who can, code dive and look into that. But that might be a really good option. But let's do let's do this vault, get some drain off. Where is it going to put us? I just don't want to go in blind. At the bottom, great. Let's get reap up, get in position, start the Rime Blight train. Yeah, my internet cannot seem to keep up with streaming. So this is probably a pointless endeavor right now. At this point, it's basically, you know, just a recording that I could put on YouTube if I wanted, I guess. Let's see. Let's not worry about it, honestly. I'd rather just focus on this. Yeah, the bad internet, not fun, but not nearly as bad as what we just went through in Abyss. All right, so that didn't make a big difference. I thought it would be a little better, but that was 4 health worth of drain. So let's see what else there is. I don't know what the staircase exclusion is for. Lair. Yeah, we still can't do that. Crystal statue on Elf 1, and then there's like a couple things behind a door on Depths 3. So let's finish this. Oh, hey, there's even... All right, maybe it's worth just like re-exploring the depths floors, because I need every little bit of help I can get at this point. Let's move some stuff around so it's easier to cast. Like hitting H is awful. Yeah, I'm not that worried about Dispel Undead. But we can do this, that. Okay, 138. Okay. So that does a couple really basic things for us. Oh, that was a decent amount of gold too. So I'm pretty sure we can buy both of these now. Yeah, we can afford both. We don't need to get both right now. But we will get the cloak, +1 AC, moving on up in the world. Such great defenses. But that was a good amount of HP gained back. So pretty happy about that. Armor manual's done. Probably want to do more fighting, just more HP, because that was awful. 1 memory to go off of. We can try Elf 1 again. Yeah, now that we have more spell power, I think we can actually kill it with permafrost. I know the possibility of distortion is really bad, but yeah, let's get there. really just gonna spawn enough stuff that is gonna kill me? That'd be ridiculous. Yeah, I don't have the sin. Okay. Let's get that back on. Yeah, you have too much will. And these are just specters. All right, so never mind on the statue. It was a bad idea to even try again. I'm being told Abyss ignores minus telly, which is fine. I thought it would be some potentially clever interaction, but if it's not, whatever. Okay, back to ignoring that statue. Because that's just really obnoxious. This brings us to no fire resist and only 2 will. We do have 2 HP regen a second, though. Worse casting by a little bit, I think. Yeah, a little bit worse. I don't know if we have any other options for RF. We have a staff. That's probably worth grabbing. Yeah, let's get the staff. I think that'll work. Alright, so if we need to, dire circumstance, we can get fire resist. It's probably the will that's really more dangerous. Yeah, 33 petrify. 9%. Yeah, yeah, I think the will is probably going to be more significant than the HP regen. It is hard to say, though. The minus telly doesn't do anything particularly clever in Abyss. So it'd really be for regen and corrosion. Hard to say. Yeah, mitigating damage, I think, is going to be more important. And mitigating any sort of horrible hex scenario. So let's, I guess we go back to Abyss. It's on 2, so gonna want to be careful. If we find a door down, we should probably just fight near it or on top of it, so we can bail if things get really horrible. Need to not use Apocalypse. It's just too much. Does it say? No, it doesn't say how loud it is, but I think it's one of the loudest things in the game. I think it's up there with Shatter. So it'll just wake everything up no matter what. Yeah, let's try it again. Really spooking me, but there's worse things than losing, I guess. A bomb. RC is nice. Yeah, we should probably use up wands as much as we can. So there's the down portal. I guess I have to fight here. I'm going to take my own advice. Think you're resistant to everything. Yeah. Good experience, though. Three Grave Claw. Use at least one. Okay, let's use two. Alright, this is already going way worse than it should be. The Constrict is no joke. Good memory. Get a little heal. Could try Disjunction too. Disjunction. But I guess I'm gonna use Lightning Rod. This is... Yeah, that was really... Okay, at least we had time to rest. But I think we probably want to, yeah, camp this out if we can. These things are gonna undo all of our drain clearing. It's really problematic. So just to keep track, we're at 140. I want to see, did it pulses with light, so it didn't. Undead will decompose. Maybe it, I don't think it can miss, but maybe it can just not work. So that's at least good. Yeah, you're not undead, you're just some weird star. Okay, 140 down to 133. So these things are really horribly dangerous for us. How do we kill it as fast as possible? Not many great options. Things resistant to everything. It's just like a Temon's. Maybe we can do something really silly like, well, I guess we'll use memory. Don't want to draw out power because then the drain's even worse. Don't want to APOC. We could power leap. But let's just try this. And yeah, we'll power leap onto it. Yep, down to 126. Yeah, that's really painful. Can we just get something easy, like a crowd of skulls? Something that I'm like completely immune to, please. Yeah, if we could just keep this going and get some health back, be greatly appreciated. Yeah, slow makes sense. Maybe shouldn't have used the mana. Just keeps getting worse. Yeah. This thing is destroying me. Oh, they are. So the abominations are actually undead. I should have been using Dispel Undead this whole time. This is just not good play by me. Now, this clears slow. Then we're still in a worse position with the drain. It's probably too dangerous not to do it with the star spawn coming. Yeah, that's a huge amount of damage. Really unfortunate. 125. Demon. Are you with? Yeah, everything in here is resistant to negatives. So Majin Bow is probably actively detrimental. This is probably not a good thing to do. Oh, there's two now. Fantastic. Okay. Non-living, not undead. I just, like everything else, I'm sure it's RN immune. But, yeah. Let's go for Lightning Rod. Your will is pretty good, so... Remember, abominations are undead. You wouldn't think. You'd think they'd just be some chaotic weirdo. $130. Yeah, everything we're doing with Majin Bow costs health. I think we should just take it off, honestly. The int is good for spell fail. The MP is nice. But I think it's just too dangerous to use. Yeah. Yep. Not any great options because we just try to dispel and fail. Could dart it. No, don't have the mana for Power Leap. Yeah, this is not. I think if we get out of the abyss, we probably should abandon. We probably should abandon at least one bonus. Just the drain from Rue and the mutators, and the fact everything is RN immune, so Majin Bow does nothing, Vamp Drain does nothing. We could just do Vaults, Crypt. We've got Dispel Undead for Crypt. You know, we can APOC Vaults. I'm probably talking myself into Vaults if we can possibly survive this. Sure, let's sack. Yeah, minus Graveclaw. So like the webbed thing. Demonic. What do we even want to do here? Okay, gateway out. We really shouldn't be. We shouldn't be ungrateful for that. I think I'm recognizing how horribly dangerous the Abyss is, especially with Ascetic. We're still there. I don't know. This is not going well. It's possible if we just went to 3 and got lucky and found a vault and apported the rune, and we might, as soon as we get the rune, we can probably just start identifying scrolls to help. But the mutators in Abyss, I don't think are a good idea to deal with. Not at all. Vaults is the only other option. Abandoning Lair is another option. Or abandoning bonus 1 and going to Lair. Yeah, I really don't know. I think I'm gonna cut it here. I know it hasn't been very long, but this is something I'm gonna have to think about. I don't think I'm playing well at all today either, so we'll think about it. Probably sleep on it, come back to it. Almost definitely abandon Abyss. Like, Majin Buu is hurting us. And it's kind of our whole game plan right now, so we can't have that. We can't have that killing us. We can't have that shutting us down. Don't exactly have a better weapon option, though. Obviously, there's claws, but don't want to lose the MP. It's not a good situation. So we'll come back to it.